major advantages over fossil fuel hybrids. The secondary claim that I'll be focusing on is hydrogen fuel is environmentally friendly. Now, my response to my opponent's secondary statement is hydrogen fuel refinement through coal, natural gas, and nuclear power is not necessarily environmentally friendly. I'll be discussing 3 points in support of my claim, which are 1, refinement from non-renewable sources creates carbon dioxide. 2, increased production of hydrogen may further increase global warming. And 3, nuclear power may not necessarily be a clean, renewable source of energy. As stated by my opponent in his original speech, the way to obtain hydrogen is through extracting it from another source. Coal, natural gas, and nuclear power are some of those sources. This brings me to my first supporting point, which is refinement from non-renewable sources creates carbon dioxide. According to the Public Broadcasting Service, in 2002, the National Hydrogen Energy Roadmap required that up to 90% of all hydrogen be refined from non-renewable sources, such as oil, coal, natural gas, and other fossil fuels. Yes, it's true that once hydrogen is in a fuel cell car, only water vapor and heat will come out the tailpipe. However, the process of burning fossil fuels to obtain the hydrogen releases carbon dioxide, a primary cause for global warming. In 2004, President Bush's budget asked for over $22 million for hydrogen research and development to be devoted to coal, nuclear power, and natural gas. So, in a hydrogen fuel cell-based economy, we would be just transferring the production of carbon dioxide from the car to the facilities that would be producing the hydrogen. My second supporting claim is that an increase in hydrogen may further increase global warming. Recent studies give warning to the releasing of hydrogen itself into the atmosphere. Researcher Tom Rand led a team of scientists from California universities and the National Center for Atmospheric Research in Boulder, Colorado. Their study found that substantially increased hydrogen production has the potential to damage the upper atmosphere. According to Tom Rand, it is impossible to manufacture, store, and transfer hydrogen without at least some fractional loss to the atmosphere. The study believes that hydrogen may further contribute to global warming by aiding other chemicals in producing increased amounts of water vapor into the upper atmosphere. In my opponent's speech, it was also stated that hydrogen could be produced from nuclear power. This brings me to my final supporting point, that nuclear power may not necessarily be a clean, renewable form of energy. According to an article in the New York Times, many environmentalists are opposed to believing that nuclear power is a clean, renewable source of energy because it produces harmful waste byproducts. The International Renewable Energy Agency, an intergovernmental group, dismissed the notion of including nuclear power among its favored technologies. The Interim Director General, Helen Pelose, of the International Renewable Energy Agency stated, "It would not support nuclear energy programs because it's a long, complicated process, it produces waste, and is relatively risky." As can be seen with the Bush's 2004 budget call, the initial pursuits for the hydrogen fuel cell will most likely focus on obtaining hydrogen through the means of refining it from a majority of non-renewable sources such as oil, natural gas, coal, and nuclear power. In a continued effort to develop hydrogen fuel cells, there will be an increase in hydrogen production, which may result in a contribution to the progress of global warming. Thus, the acquirement of hydrogen through the refinement of non-renewable sources and nuclear power, and an increased production of hydrogen has the potential of posing a higher threat to the environment in the long run. As a result, hydrogen fuel may not be as environmentally friendly as one might be led to believe. Thank you.
Okay, you previewed the main and secondary points pretty clearly. You've got counterclaims that you're presenting. I thought you did a good explanation about why hydrogen is potentially problematic. I didn't really hear much analysis of the advocate's evidence and reasoning, but I did hear good development of your counterclaims on those particular points, and it was relatively easy to follow. Sometimes I think we need a little bit more contrast with the advocate's claims. The closest you get to a more direct contrast is on that third point when they're talking talking about nuke power as an alternative and what the potential dangers there are, and mostly it's one group's kind of diminishing the value of nuclear power in that whole cycle, and the primary issue appears to be CO2 as the issue, and I'm not exactly sure that those were the only advantages that the advocate talked about. I don't quite remember. All right, thank you.